Hi, I'm Sheetal Rastogi. We are here for Cocktail Hour by World Travel Magazine. Welcome to all our viewers. And today we are stepping into the gateway city of Vietnam, Hanoi. Domestic travel has started and soon regional travel will open up. We are here to refresh. We want to give you a peek at what you've been missing out on and the destinations you need to add to your itinerary soon. Let's give you a glimpse of the city, and after that, we lounge at Sofitel Legend Metropole Hanoi, a 120-year-old French colonial splendor, an authentic summation of heritage, fascinating history, and romance.
Welcome to Hanoi, a wonderful city of 9 million people. My name is Anthony Peter Sluka. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing, and I'm here to introduce you to Hanoi and to where the Sofitel Legend Metropole Hanoi is situated. We are literally 50 meters in that direction, and here you can see the wonderful Opera House that was built in 1911, 10 years after the Metropole, which makes the Metropole about 120 years old. We are in the center of the city, right next to Hon Kim Lake, which is the key area where most visitors want to be. So now we will move from the Opera House down Trang Chien Street over to Hon Kim Lake. And here we have Trang Chien Street, which runs all the way in that direction, almost heading north towards Hon Kim Lake. The hotel is right around the corner. This is really the very, very center of Hanoi. Welcome to Hon Kim Lake. Again, the hotel is 100 meters in that direction, right down the street, so we're right in the middle of Hanoi. This is Hon Kim Lake. There's a lot of stories about this lake, and if you look out there, you can see there's a pagoda out in the middle. And the fable has to do with a king who had a dream about a sword. The sword became reality, and he was asked to return the sword to the lake. And 2 or 3 giant tortoises came out of the lake, and he gave the sword to them, and then they retreated back into the water. That's just a short version of one of the fables concerning the lake. And in this area, there are 36 streets in the old city. These 36 streets were each known for a specific trade. For example, you had the Silver Street, you had the Gold Street, you had the Basket Weaving Street, and so on and so forth. A lot of the character of those 36 streets is still here today, and it's probably the central attraction for tourism in Hanoi. Hi, and here we have Sofitel Legend Metropole Hanoi, and this is Ngo Nguyen Street, running all the way from the Red River in that direction, all the way north and south actually in that direction there. The main shopping district would be that way, the main tourist district would be that way, about 200 to 300 meters. Again, we're very centrally located, and you can see this wonderful hotel built in 1901 by the French, so it has a lot of French architecture. The green shutters, the white washed walls, and the cast iron over here on La Terrasse is really an exceptional place. And right next to the hotel, you have Concours Park, the nice fountain that would remind one that they're in Paris, or the Paris of the East, so to speak. So anyway, after this, we're going to move into the hotel, and you'll be welcomed by the general manager, Mr. William Handrickman. Thanks very much for watching.
That was Anthony sharing us some Hanoi views with us, and that was a very interesting fable he shared about the lake. And now I have with me today William Handrickman, a hospitality industry veteran, the general manager of the Sofitel Legend Metropole Hanoi. Welcome, William.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having us. I'm very happy.
How are you today,
and pleased
William?
to have this live stream. I'm very well. So I'm standing over here in the middle of our garden, the garden that is already over here since 1901. It's beautiful weather in Hanoi, and I'm happy to be here on the live stream.
Oh, wonderful. William, Metropole Hanoi has been open for 120 years. And as I understand, it has stayed open in last couple of months as well, when most of us, or rather the world, saw movement control. That's pretty encouraging. What were some of the changes that you brought in to continue operating in this new normal?
Yeah, so what is nice is that Vietnam, for example, we have 0 deaths, we have 0 cases, active cases currently. So Vietnam and the Vietnam government has really well managed the situation of COVID-19. Starting from the beginning of March, we have already closed our borders. So we have really kept the illness out, and we are back to normal already since a couple of weeks. So we don't have the social distancing, and that is the reason why we have a lot of domestic market coming now, visiting as well the metropole. Because what we see is the Vietnamese who normally travel abroad cannot travel abroad, so they are visiting now Vietnam. So we have now the slogan Vietnam for Vietnamese. At the metropole, we have always already have a lot of domestic travel, but mainly for our restaurants. And what we see lately, after the borders are closing, that we have now as well domestic travel for our rooms. So we have a nice mix now between rooms and F&B, but F&B is still the majority of our revenue today.
Right. And as I see, the word historical and heritage have a real relation here. You've had kings, ambassador, presidents, and other celebrity guests staying at Metropole Hanoi. Who has been your most distinguished guest in last decade?
So in the last decade, that's a long time. So I'm over here now for 3 years, and what is nice, on my first working day, our Queen of Holland was one of our guests. So I would say for me personally, it was of course the visit of my own Queen from Holland. But February last year, we have as well hosted the Kim Trump Summit, the second Kim Trump Summit. The summit was of course important, but what we stand for as well at the Metropole is that yes, we take care of our guests. We take care of our guests as well as VIPs so that they feel at home. We don't want paparazzi everywhere, but that's the reason why the Metropole Hanoi is the royals and all the VIPs, because yes, we can keep secrets and we keep them at the Metropole.
Interesting. Yeah. As London has the Ritz and the New York has the Plaza, Vietnam has Metropole Hanoi. So what's the secret sauce behind the prominent landmark of Vietnam?
I would say first our team members. Our team members is really the special sauce for the hotel, because the team members makes a luxury hotel. You can have a beautiful building. If your team members don't feel the importance of luxury, and if we don't train them correctly, and if we are not feeling that harmony as one team, you can never ever exceed in a luxury property. So I think that is what is our special sauce, is the Vietnamese coming together and working for one goal, and that is the happy guest, and that they are coming back. We have more and more guests coming back because of our team members. So the team members make the real difference. And of course, the building from 1901 is a unique, iconic building in the city. Right? In the old city, we are 5 minutes walking from the Opera House. But for me, the special sauce for the Metropole is our team.
Yes, I completely agree. And I understand that it's 1st July today, and I think 11 years ago, Sofitel Metropole Hanoi became world's first Sofitel Legend hotel. What's the significance of the brand Sofitel Legend?
Yeah, so correct. So we became the first legend in the world. At the moment, we have 5 legends around the world. We have Cartagena, we have Old Cataract in Egypt, we have Xi'an, we have the Grand in Amsterdam, and of course the number 1 legend was the Hanoi property. So yes, previously we had Sofitel, and then we have seen that in our portfolio of Sofitel, we have iconic hotels who already have for centuries been in a hotel, welcomed special guests, welcomed VIPs, and that is the reason why at Sofitel we created the Legend brand. So we have 5 legends around the world, and it is really the iconic city in the hotel with a lot of heritage.
Right. Whenever I see the photograph of Metropole Hanoi, there are these 2 French classic, the vintage Citroën cars, which are parked right at the entrance. Are these still available for sightseeing?
Yes, indeed. So those cars are still indeed available for sightseeing. And what we have done is we have created special packages. We have the caviar package, we have the champagne package, the macarons package. So yes, we can tailor make on a luxury basis 1 hour or 2 hour drive in the city, and then you go to the 38 streets, what Anthony had just showed you, and we will cater in the car. So nice French caviar, nice French champagne. That's exactly the way how you need to discover Hanoi.
That's very interesting. And one dish and dessert that you would personally advocate that completes Metropole Hanoi experience?
Yeah, so one dish or two dishes is very difficult because, as you know, we have a lot of restaurants in our hotel. So I would say in our Vietnamese restaurant, what I personally prefer is we have the spring roll tour. That is the spring rolls from all around Vietnam, from the south to the north, and we serve them on one platter. Then we have in Le Beaulieu our fine dining. My favorite is Le Bisque. Le Bisque is tableside made and is really exquisite. Then, of course, in Le Club Bar, where we have a more brasserie style, my favorite is doc confit and beef tartare. And then if we go to Angelina, where we go as well for our cocktail tasting, it's more pan-European, rustic, and over there, the slow braised beef is exquisite. It's really the best in town, and I would even say the best in Hanoi. So in every restaurant, I have my particular taste and particular dish.
No, I really love what you shared, the spring roll tours. I would love to probably in my next trip to Hanoi. That's something I would love to try, the different flavors of Vietnam through these spring roll tours.
Yeah, because the funny thing is people see Vietnam, of course, as one, but from north to south is approximately 2,200 kilometers. I always say it is from Amsterdam to Barcelona. It's about 2,200 kilometers. So over there in Europe, from Amsterdam to Barcelona, you have four countries. And it's a little bit the same in Vietnam. We are one country, but every district has its own taste buds. Some is sweet, some is spicy. So yes, it is a very nice experience to taste all the different flavors from the different spots in Hanoi, in Vietnam.
And I think Hanoi and Metropole is a perfect place to start that Vietnam journey for people, especially who haven't been to Vietnam. So Hanoi could be a starting point as they venture in other places to Vietnam.
Definitely, definitely. So what we always say, if you're first time visiting Vietnam, it's good to stay 2 days at the Metropole, and then for example, 1 or 2 nights you go to Ha Long Bay or you go to Sapa in the mountains, to Cat Ba Island, and then you can come back to Hanoi for 1 day, and then you go down south to Da Nang and to Ho Chi Minh or to the Mekong Delta. So there is really, for everybody, there is something, and 2 weeks in Vietnam is really a must.
Yeah. And I think keeping in mind how the COVID situation has been in Vietnam, I think people feel much more comfortable in terms of traveling. And I think we are just waiting for international borders to open before we start to venture in and travel to Vietnam.
Indeed, indeed, yeah. So the borders are still closed. We hope that the borders will open by the end of the year, or if possible sooner, because all the hotels and especially the tourist industry, of course, we want again to welcome our tourists and our friends and to show them our pride, our Vietnam. Because Vietnam is really a wonderful place to be and to spend a great time. So we hope that you guys will come back after we open the borders again.
Definitely. And William, Metropole Hanoi continues to host interesting personalities, and you have cocktails around some of your past guests. What makes locals and international guests keep coming back to your Angelina bar?
Yeah, so Angelina Bar, we renovated it completely 2.5 years ago. Before it was as well a hotspot. After renovation, it's really the place to be. The place to be, personality. So our bartenders have personality. Our bartenders have a great taste bud. What they create is different. It's different than other bars in Hanoi. And Angelina has always been a little bit a different beast in the Metropole. Angelina, the entire entourage, and we will visit Angelina in a couple of minutes, is a completely different style than the rest of the hotel. So there's really a compliment to the hotel, plus as well for the locals. We have 80% of local visitors come to Angelina, and they come back because of the atmosphere, because of the unique taste. And that is exactly why we have created and developed Angelina, for the local crowd because we know what they like, and what we do with our cocktails is one of a kind in Hanoi.
Wonderful. I think will Anthony be joining us?
Hello, everyone.
Anthony, I will welcome now to you, and I will see you in a few minutes. See you guys.
Outstanding.
See you. Hi, Anthony. How are you today?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. I'm standing right here in the Modern Section Hotel, the relatively recently improved, shall we say, Angelina.
Wonderful. First of all, let me, you've shared a wonderful short tour of Hanoi. Thank you so much for that. We got a glimpse of what it's like to be in Hanoi.
Yes, you saw a lot of commotion, I think, and it was quite noisy. So really, the hotel is an oasis in the city, I must say.
I can imagine we could really converse well just now with William as well. So I was just speaking to William about the engine. Oh, that's a quick one. That's a quick one. So we were just talking about the personality cocktails and the history of Angelina Bar, and the locals as well as international guests keep coming back to Angelina.
Right.
So what
right.
makes the bar so special? And could you share more about some of the cocktails or the new menus that you plan to launch?
Well, sure. Just a little bit about Angelina, first of all. Yes, it absolutely is the place to be seen, the place to come for a little bit of entertainment as well as food in Hanoi. The concept, the designer is actually from Scotland and actually based in Asia. So the concept is somehow, in terms of design, loosely linked to the Scottish Highlands. In terms of facility, if you will, or outlet, it's a restaurant, it's a cocktail bar, and as you can see behind me, definitely a cocktail bar with William. And then up in the middle, we have actually a whiskey lounge. And then up top, we have the restaurant. And of course, you can eat where you want in the whole space. The menu, yes, it's European, but it's not specifically French or Italian. It's pan-European, and we also call it New World. So we have some dishes that are based on American and, shall we say, Australian as well cuisine. And it's very, very high quality comfort food that's served to share. So it's really ideal for mixing sort of a dining and a party atmosphere together. So that is Angelina sort of in a nutshell. And you can see the decor is quite modern and quite bright. And actually, William helped to bring these features up here from the ceiling. They're related to, I believe, Dutch fishing nets, something along those lines. They're called Moi. Very good. So in terms of cocktails, yes. So cocktails, you know, we have a set of very nice cocktails that are based over in the Bamboo Bar and that are based over in the Club Bar. And those cocktails are essentially what you would find in New York or Paris. We have a lot of classic cocktails. And mixed into that, yes, we have the Charlie Chaplin cocktail. As you may know, Charlie Chaplin stayed here in 1936 for his honeymoon with Miss Goddard. And one cocktail is named after her. We have another cocktail, Somerset Maugham, as well, which is a bit similar. And both of those actually use not ice cream, but sorbet. They use sorbet, and they're very nicely presented. But here in Angelina, we have something a little bit more innovative and modern. So we have what we call personality cocktails that we've developed. And we have 10 different personality cocktails. And because my memory is a little bit dodgy today, I will use a piece of paper to make sure I get them right. The personality cocktails such as passionate, dramatic, socialite, optimist, charismatic, the nerd, one of my favorites, narcissist, rebellious, and plutocrat. And
Very
of course,
interesting.
we've tried to design these cocktails around the actual concept of the character or the so on. So when you go to the menu itself, you're going to actually see 3 key words that talk a bit about what that means, that character, or what are key elements of the character. And then you hopefully can taste components of that in the cocktail itself. And today we're actually going to prepare 2 of the cocktails for us. Unfortunately, you can't taste them from over there. We certainly hope so. And that is the narcissist and the artistic, or the artistic. So a little bit about the narcissist. So it's Three keywords: egocentric, crisp, and golden.
And there's a girl named Narcissus, and he's a girl that he's so beautiful, and then he loved himself. The only person he loves is himself. Yeah, and one day when he see his reflection into the water pond, and he's doing that because he just want to see beyond his vision. He wants to see
His reflection, yeah.
that reflection. So and then he fell into the water pond, and after that there's flowers that named Narcissus flowers comes from the water. So that is the idea that comes into this cocktail. So we decided to make it so clear and
Like a mirror, right? So you're trying to make it clear like a mirror, so that you can actually see yourself or see your own reflection in the cocktail.
Okay.
So that's the narcissist one.
Yes, that's the narcissist one. Absolutely. And you know, I believe. Do you want me to go over the ingredients, or would you like to do that?
no, it's
All right. So it seems that there's a Kettle One vodka, Frangelico liqueur, which is one of my favorites, Malibu Original Caribbean rum, and gold leaf. 24 carats gold leaf, indeed. Yes. There's a saying that we put in the menu, which is that the narcissist enjoys being looked at and not looking back because he may be afraid of what he will see. Now, that's an anonymous statement from somebody that we don't know.
Right.
So yeah, the artistic. So three key words for artistic. We have imaginative, we have creative, and we have unconventional. Unconventional, yes. So unconventional in a conventional, no, I wouldn't say it's conventional hotel, in a classical hotel in some ways, but actually the Metropole is a blend of many things, right? Angelina is specifically rather modern. We have two distinct wings, of course. One is more neoclassical, and we have the historical wing, which is very colonial classical. We have a saying here from the artistic, which also goes into the menu, because remember, every personality has a saying from an author or somebody. This one I really like. The world always seems brighter when you've just made something that wasn't there before. Neil Gaiman, I don't know who he is exactly either, but it's quite a nice, anyway, it's a cutting edge cocktail for creative genius. As an artist, you have the right to be odd. You work in a mysterious and subtle way to craft fresh and interesting ideas. You are odd, but people naturally love socializing with you because of your unconventional views of things. A base of brandy and rum combined with Angelina's secret gum syrup, which is the secret syrup she's talking about, and lime and fresh peppercorn, Luxardo maraschino cherry. Did I say that right? It's not easy to say.
I will repeat it, but I think I said it right.
Okay. Something that goes beyond the ordinary. Yes,
Yes,
sorry.
these cocktails are only available at Angelina in Metropole Hanoi or elsewhere in Sofitel in any other. So
No, they're totally original. They're totally original.
So if one was to try out these drinks, you have to be there at Angelina in Hanoi.
Correct. And the creator of the cocktails is preparing it now. So she is as well the inspirational behind all the cocktails. All the cocktails.
And how often do you change the menus? How often do you update the cocktail menus?
So normally the menus, we try to update always 3 to 4 times per year, a little bit with the season. Especially in Vietnam, you have a lot of different fruits, different flavors, and our bartenders and our chefs, they always try to find for each season the right ingredient.
Yeah, and do you already have a popular drink since the launch of the menu?
Well, not yet, because we just literally launched it today.
Oh,
so
okay.
so today being the 1st of July, 1st of July is the day of the new cocktail menu. So
okay.
you are very lucky to be
able to see it. Okay.
Correct, 100%. Yeah.
And
so what do we have there? That's the
this one over here now we are creating the ball of ice, and that is for the narcissist. There is the one for the narcissist that you can see yourself in a mirror. And back,
Okay.
I was saying, if you look back, you don't know what happened, correct?
Right, something like that. Let me just check. Yes, and not looking back because you may be afraid of what you'll see. Correct.
Wow.
So that's why we have this this very nice ball of ice in there. Wow.
I think Vietnam has been open all throughout. In Singapore, we had a situation when we were not able to dine out and go to bars. So there were cocktail takeaways as well. So I'm assuming that wouldn't have been the situation in Hanoi.
Well, we actually did close the city down for a month, essentially, in April, or most of April, I would say, three and a bit weeks of April. So there was a period where the city really was shut. The hotel was still open, by the way, and you could actually stand in one of these busy streets and not see a motorcycle or a car or even a bicycle. But it was relatively short-lived, and then we reopened at the very end of April, and then into May, things started to increase and have continued. And now, yes, the country's very much like normal, except that the borders are closed, of course.
So this is the first, the narcissist. This one have, as the guys have told, is the vodka and also Concherico and Malibu. We decided to put the round shape ice and go on top.
Can we have a closer
And-
look at the cocktail?
Yeah, can we have a closer look at it? 1 second, the camera lady is coming.
So that's the narcissist one.
This is the narcissist. So you see over here, the drop of gold leaf, and it is like the narcissist with a nice mirror.
Right.
And it happened to be one of my favorites.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Looks beautiful.
It looks clean.
That's very tempting.
Yeah.
So cheers
And
to
then the next one is?
cheers to you, William and Anthony. I would love to join you on my next trip to Vietnam.
Please do, yeah, because then at that point we can drink some nice cocktails together.
Absolutely. Mine one will be passionate. I don't know what are the ingredients, but I would go for the passionate one. That's something very interesting. This is the
Thank you very much.
artistic.
the second one is artistic. And
Very
we
artistic
decided to
indeed.
put in on a tea glass with some and flowers. So the flavors, I'm sure that everybody's gonna love it because I think everyone loves pizza. So that's why I want to tell you about my syrups that I call it a pizza syrup. So I think you are gonna have some fun when you drink it.
Yeah.
Pizza syrup. Okay.
So it's inspired from pizza, you said? This
Like, and also in Spain and Italy. I don't know why, but so I decided to make it pizza, and also it's have a taste of Hawaiian pizza actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit funky, but still artist.
that looks amazing. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, William and Anthony.
okay, so
Please
here
go
we
ahead
go.
and try out.
So let's try it out. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers,
And cheers to the border opening news sometime very soon, so we all can travel.
Yes, we hope.
Cheers. As we wrap up our session today, do you have any message for our viewers?
So we just, as soon as possible, we would really like you to visit us here in Angelina and at the Metropole. We think that you would really have a great time in this wonderful city, wonderful country with the great Vietnam, and there really is so much to do. And Angelina is really one special place. William?
Hanoi has grown onto me for the last 3 years. I'm over here now for 3 years. I've traveled the world. I've worked in 3 different continents, in 10 different countries. But now for 3 years in Hanoi, I love the city. I love the people. I love the food. And I love the creative drinking and what the people are doing. It is really something unique in Asia. Bangkok is nice, but Hanoi is still the authentic Asian and the nice international flavor. So for me, please come and visit Hanoi. And of course, there's only one place to stay in luxury, that is the Metropole. If you stay somewhere else, but I don't recommend, please come to Angelina, of course, to taste our new cocktails.
Definitely. Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much, William and Anthony, for joining us today and giving us a flavor of Hanoi. And thanks to all our viewers for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this evening. We hope you enjoyed this evening. And do join us next week as we'll take you to a gorgeous island destination next week, Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Singapore time. Cheers, Anthony.
Thank you.
Cheers. William,
Cheers.
thank you so much once again.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a blessed week ahead.
You
Goodbye.
too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.